Hello and welcome to the Dubai Property Investment Podcast with your host Nick Hyland, CEO of Masar Capital, a regulated real estate agency based here in Dubai, and also founder and director of Track Capital, which is a UK-based property investment agency. So today on the podcast, what I'm going to do is reel through a presentation from Emaar and kind of do like a developer overview, introduction, and a bit of an analysis so everyone knows, where they stand with Emaar, who they are, what they do, and why you should potentially consider investing with them. So for those that aren't aware, this is going out on audio and podcasts, and you can watch the actual presentation on YouTube, where I reel through Emaar's corporate brochure and have a look at one or two of their projects as well. So just to get things started, what I want to do is just give a overview of exactly who you're dealing with. So Emaar, any of you who live in Dubai, have visited Dubai, would have come across them before, but they are the household name in Dubai, okay? They're a tier 1 developer, grade A. These guys built the Burj Khalifa, Dubai Mall, many other things and reputable communities, which you'll be well aware of, and we'll go into specifics on that later. So they are regarded as the number one in Dubai. Now, I believe they're the biggest. They've delivered over 85,000 residential units. In 2022, their revenue for the year was 24.9 billion. And they do operate across, residential, commercial, hotels, entertainment, leisure, hospitality, etc., etc. So they are, very, very well established, extremely highly regarded in the marketplace. And, this track record, this credibility, this reputation all impacts the quality of our investment fundamentally. Now, I'll go into reasons why I think the brand name in Dubai is so important later. But I wanted to give everyone an idea of, the scale of the company we're talking about here. You won't find bigger in Dubai, okay? And just to stress that statistic I mentioned a minute ago, these guys have delivered over 85,000 residential units, 85,000. And then they've got another 27,000 under development. So these guys are absolutely huge. And, they can certainly offer a lot in the Dubai marketplace. So what I'm going to do now is go through their corporate brochure, which was recently released. It's really handy because it gives an idea of their plans, their vision, the scale of what they want to reach, but also it actually runs through the communities, so you can get an idea of their impact across Dubai. Now, Masar Capital are actively registered with Emaar, selling their properties. They're one of my favourite to sell, not because of the commission rate they pay, because that's actually pretty low, but their product is, as I say, best in class. So normally when you get an investor introduced to Emaar, they don't look anywhere else, okay? It's just a case because they have such a wide range of projects, lots of different communities, and their stock is extremely fast moving. It can be difficult to pick something up from Emaar, but once people understand the story and the caliber of company that they're talking about, then they tend to become hooked on Emaar and they just know it's a safe bet. So I will speak through the actual, potential of buying with Emaar later, which can be challenging. But for now, let's go through the presentation and have a look at the company itself. Cool. So here's a overview of the plans and the goals of the company from the CEO, Ahmed. We won't go into that just now, but Emaar founded in 1977, and they've just mentioned that they create obviously homes, offices, retail centres, hotel and leisure destinations, and they take great pride in doing so. This gives you an idea of just the bigger picture, the vision to be one of the world's most trusted and valuable companies, enriching lives and obviously shaping futures. Okay, so now we know a bit about Emaar themselves, basically the biggest and most well-known developer in Dubai and their plans for the future. We'll have a quick look at Dubai itself and what it's offering as a city. Cool. So just for anyone that doesn't know, here's a few headline numbers and a couple of things to think about if you're looking into the Dubai market. So firstly, top left, we have RERA and the logo there, which is effectively integrated into Dubai Land Department, and they are effectively the regulatory body of Dubai. So they place regulations and operational procedures upon both agents and developers, and they have really tightened up the Dubai market in recent years, and they're welcomed by everyone. just because it brings a bit more, formality. The agencies know where they stand. The good agencies stand out. The cowboys or the lower caliber agents, tend to not be able to adhere to their standards, so they almost get ruled out. And then obviously investor confidence and buyer confidence is improved when you have a governing body in place. Now, Ejari is the system and entity in place for tenant management, is probably how I would describe it. So when you form a tenancy agreement, you register it with Ejari, and the tenants actually get the official document called an Ejari, and basically they handle all things, landlord, tenant, letting side. The Dubai Land Department is kind of like the land registry for those in the UK that know, and effectively it records and oversees the actual transaction and ownership of land and property in Dubai. So when you purchase, it's registered with the Dubai Land Department. The Dubai Land Department are the company that issue your OCUD or your title deed, and that's where your formal purchase is registered. So there are a couple of important government bodies and entities to consider, and a couple of other bits more on the financials. So average price per square foot in USD is $600 across Dubai. No tax on income, capital gains or inheritance. That has actually changed recently, so there is a bit of tax in place now for non-residents. And you can get around that by purchasing over 750,000 dirhams, but just do bear that in mind and seek the relevant advice. Average rental yield of 5.19%. Long-term residency visa with an investment of 5 million AED in freehold properties. The most common visas in place are the Golden Visa, which is over 10 million dirhams now, which gets you a 10-year visa, and the 2-year investor visa, which is for an investment of above 750,000 dirhams. So actually those two are the most applicable visas in place currently. 4% land registration fee, equivalent of stamp duty, and we'll see how that compares to the global market secondly. And then you've got the fact that the dirham is pegged to the US dollar there mentioned. Cool. Here's a bit of tax information. Won't go into that huge amount, but purchase tax, which is stamp duty, you've got the VAT there, and the inheritance tax. Effectively, Dubai comes across as very appealing on the tax structure. We're not going to go through every number now, but for those listening on the podcast, that's effectively what the image represents that we're looking at. Now, here's the bit that I want to get to, right? Because what you have to understand is that Emaar, as a company, they develop communities. Now, that sounds a bit cliche to say, but with saying that, what I mean is they physically develop actual communities, what we would refer to as master communities. So what you'll tend to see happening across Dubai is you take a location, there will be a master developer that's built up the infrastructure, the transport, the roads, designed it, and then put in the buildings. And then sometimes frequently they'll sell off plots to other developers who come in and then build an individual building. Okay, what Emaar do now, especially after the marina, is they build out communities themselves as the master developer, and then they build out all the towers, and then very occasionally they'll sell off individual plots to other developers to build there as well. But as a whole, they build out the master communities and the residential and commercial spaces. And what that does for their communities, it means they can oversee and manage it all in-house. Well, I say in-house, this is a huge public company we're talking about, but under one roof effectively. And secondly, it allows for a level of consistency across the aesthetics, the infrastructure around the buildings. There's a lot more control over the design and the infrastructure, and it just brings about a more universal feel. So you actually get the experience of living in one community. Whereas in other places, if you look at the marina, for example, you can have one building next door to another that offer a completely different experience, both in the experience of living there, but also the quality of the build, etc., just the general reputation. Obviously, as an investor, we want to think about how buildings are perceived by tenants and by future buyers. So that's a big factor which can come into play. So let's have a look at some of Emaar's communities. This gives you a really good understanding of how spread or diverse Emaar are across Dubai, and we're effectively seeing a map here. So let's just quickly run through these at a higher level. So you've got downtown Dubai, which is obviously, Burj Khalifa, Dubai Mall, etc. Up to the top right of that, you've got Mina Rashid out past the IFC. Now, Mina Rashid is a new beachfront community. We'll speak more about that shortly. I should say waterfront because it's more sort of harbour and yacht focused. But they've had a couple of new launches there which sell out extremely quickly, same day. So yeah, that's a new waterfront community. Come over to the right, you've got Dubai Creek Harbour, which is being labelled as the new downtown, and we'll speak in detail about that area shortly, obviously nearby the airport. Come over down the Al Khal Road from downtown, you've got Dubai Hills Estate, which is a very popular expat community known as the greenest area in Dubai, or one of the greenest communities in Dubai, which is effectively a new modern villa with apartments and townhouses expat community. Go across up to the coast again, you've got Emaar Beachfront, which is a man-made effectively island space, which kind of has a Miami feel about it in between the Palm Jumeirah and Dubai Marina. And so that's been a new launch, which I think they're doing 27 towers there in total. And that is one of the most in-demand projects in Dubai. Very, very premium, so be warned. You've got Dubai Marina, which is obviously one of the most maturest markets in Dubai now. Which, by the way, some Emaar buildings there are still performing very, very well in comparison to competition. Come down, you've got Emirates Living, which has some places such as Emirates Hills, where you have extremely high-end bespoke mansions, arguably some of the most or the most premium property in Dubai, in the Emirates Living space, surrounded by Emirates Golf Club, etc., etc. Come further down, you've got Arabian Ranches 1, 2, and 3. These are kind of like how I would describe the older brother of Dubai Hills, a bit more maturer. Arabian Ranches 3 is new to the market, and they do actually have new releases there. But Arabian Ranches 1 and 2 are quite mature and very well known. Very much a golf expat community. You might have more, families there which have 1, 2, or 3 kids and that have moved out from perhaps a more congested and noisy area, and they want to get out to a nice, spacious, green location. And Arabian Ranches certainly offers that. And then further down, you've got the Reem and the Valley. Over to the left, you've got the Al Maktoum International Airport, which is set to be the busiest airport, I think, by 2050. So that's all being built out. And then above that, you've not being done by Emaar, but you've got the Palm Jebel Ali, who Nikhil are the master developer of. So that is going to be built out. So when you combine what's going to happen in the Palm Jebel Ali and the airport and the old expo site, this area to the left of the screen, so Dubai South, is a huge area of investment. A lot of money is going to go into here now. And if you're looking at a long-term play for growth in Dubai, then Dubai South itself can be a great bet because it hasn't had the aggressive growth or seen the maturity of other areas like downtown or the marina. But it will likely see a high level of population growth and development in the future, which is really promising from an investment perspective. There are a number of developers involved there, but Emaar have a site there called Emaar South, which is going to have a lot of that's actually finished, to be honest. Well, not a lot of it, but some phases of that master community have finished. So you've got the golf club going in there, you've got the gyms, you can see the finished pool and the communal facilities, and the houses themselves, especially the townhouses, are extremely attractive. And then obviously just lastly, you've got the current metro lines mentioned there, and then the future metro line here in blue as well. So as you can see, a lot of these probably almost brand names of communities you might recognize, and this is the kind of exposure that Emaar has in the Dubai market. So everything from new beachfront, new waterfront communities, through to premium beachfront Miami-style apartments, to some of the largest bespoke, custom-built mansions on their master community, through to expat villa communities and golf-focused areas, right out through to emerging and up-and-coming areas for long-term plays. Cool. So downtown Dubai, everyone knows this, one of the most famous in the world. So this is, very much a commercial hub. You've got DIFC, which is the financial centre, the largest in the Middle East. You've got Business Bay, which is very commercialised. However, you're starting to see a lot of high-end developers go into there now. So you've got Omniat with Dorchester Apartments, Missoni, SLS have gone into there. You've got Hilton and plenty more. Select Peninsula is going to be an amazing waterfront community there. The Jumeirah Living suite of buildings. And obviously you've got, the downtown area itself. So you've got the Boulevard, the Dubai Mall and the Burj Khalifa. So, yeah, that's kind of the epicenter of Dubai. And this gives you a quick idea. So you've got 90k population, 35k homes. You've got 75,000 people that work in downtown. So these are your executives, your professionals, 10 minutes to the airport. I mean, I don't think it's always 10 minutes, depending on the traffic. And then obviously loads of hotel and retail shops. And you've got Dubai Mall, which is the largest in the world. And you've got the Khalifa itself. So 163 floors, 57 elevators. You've got a hotel there and 900 residences. Dubai Creek Harbour. Now, this is one certainly to focus on. And this is where I would be putting my money now if I had the opportunity to invest with Emaar. So at the top of the screen here, you can see the downtown area. And then this is the island of Dubai Creek Harbour, which we'll speak about in more detail shortly. But you can see, obviously not all of this is built, but there's quite a significant amount of this, which is undergoing construction. So you can see the signs of the island emerging. I was down there this week. And last week. And yeah, you can really see the harbour coming together. Some of the buildings have been delivered, handed over, supermarkets are there. So that community is really starting to emerge. So you can see or get an idea of the scale of this project. So you're looking at 550 hectares, 7,300,000 square metres of residential space, 5,800 units, 24 hotels, and a lot more going on. So yeah, this is going to be a huge community, which is very, very close to downtown Dubai. Dubai Hills Estate, very much, I would say it's like, the hills of Dubai, so to speak. The villas, the townhouses, the apartments, they're all very modern. And not as in modern as in recently built, as in they actually look very modern, like very sleek, white finishes, very, almost American-esque. And obviously they've got the centerpiece, which is the green area. And, it's been a very, very popular and trendy community for the more established demographic in Dubai. So you've got the Dubai Hills Mall as well, which is a lovely mall. I personally really, really like that mall. The reason being is it's massive. It's very clean, very new. There's not much foot traffic there, so it's way less hectic compared to the Dubai Mall. And it's easy to park. You can get in and out, and it's got all the decent shops and plenty of places to eat, cinema, etc., etc. So you've got that to enjoy, and then you've got obviously the lots of open spaces, green grass. You've got 3 schools there, plenty of residential units, townhouses. That gives you an idea of the scale of the community there. So you've got 28,000 apartments, 1,840 townhouses, and 1,266 villas, and 896 golf course villas. So yeah, really nice community. Emaar Beachfront, so moving swiftly over to the coast of Dubai, away from the greenery, right on the shorefront now. This community is exceptional. It's, in my opinion, it has seen a huge amount of investment and demand, and as a result of that, Emaar haven't been shy with pricing it to reflect that. And what I mean is you're paying a lot of money, right? You could get into this community a while or a couple of years ago for, I believe, as low as 1.6, 1.8, I think maybe even slightly lower than that for a 1-bed. Now you're going in at, the high 2s, etc. For new launches. Some of the branded residences in the 3s for 1-beds. So yeah, really, really exclusive high-end community. Probably an unmatched location in Dubai. It really is grade 1. It is a tier 1 investment from a flagship developer in their flagship waterfront community. So very, very hard to beat this in terms of the wow factor. You're staring directly right over the Palm Jumeirah. If you look left, you're going towards Blue Waters, JBR, the Dubai Eye, or if you're on the other side, you've got the full marina skyline view and the harbour itself. So wherever you're sat, pretty much there you are in great company and with amazing views with all the beaches as well. So here we go. Yeah, 27 residential towers, 25,000 square meters of amenities, 13,000 square meters of a retail mall, 10,000 units overall. So that is Emaar Beachfront. Emaar South. So this is the community I was discussing, which will be one for the future. They even mention it there, where the future of Dubai takes flight. Again, out towards where the airport is, where the Palm Jebel Ali is going to be built, where the old expo site was. I'm telling you now, once the infrastructure's in, the transport links, more developers have gone into there, the values will rise, and you'll see strong capital growth and appreciation on property values there. Even in the recent weeks since Palm Jebel Ali was announced to relaunch from the keel, you've seen a huge amount of demand in the area. So mark that one for investors, those that want to get in at a low ticket price, even those that are looking for end use. I think it's going to be a phenomenal community. And of course, you can go down and see it and experience it and, see for yourself at the moment. So, 18-hole golf course, 16 clinics, 9 schools and nurseries. You've got 40,000 square meters of office space, over 22,000 resi units, 53,300 square meters of a retail mall, and plenty of open space as well. Arabian Ranches, so a lot of people know, there you go, goes back as far as 2004, ideally known as the Ranches in Dubai. Big expat community, a lot of golfers there, gives you very relaxed, open, almost like I'd say the UK countryside living, very spacious housing, very private, which is really nice to see. As you expect from these established communities, when new phases release, demand is through the roof because the reputation, the word of mouth, the quality of the build is being communicated from the existing owners and tenants. So Arabian Ranches 3 does have some offerings available currently, but it's in very high demand. 5,800 resi units. As you can see, the difference between a villa community and an apartment community, the scale of, so you haven't got over 20,000, you've got just under 6,000. You've got the big golf course, 50 swimming pools, tennis courts, etc. Cool. Emirates Hill, so they've said it themselves, world-class development. One of the city's most premier and sought-after gated communities. And this place is really special. Do some Googling on, Emirates Hills. Have a look at some of the wow mansions and, what you can expect there. But this is the type of place where celebrities will live, politicians will have a home, etc. It really is the high end of Dubai. Cool. So that's a quick run view of the communities themselves. Now, what I wanted to do is just speak through this one, which is Dubai Creek Harbour and Creek Waters 2. So hopefully what I presented to you earlier gave an overview or a snapshot of Emaar in terms of their track record, the scale of and the global infamous projects that they've delivered, and also their efforts to building communities rather than knocking up individual towers, and really doing the city justice by delivering phenomenal infrastructure, thinking about green spaces, thinking about leisure and entertainment with the malls, and thinking about infrastructure and transport. So I touched on it earlier, but I do believe that Dubai Creek Harbour represents a phenomenal opportunity. So make no bones about it. Dubai Creek Harbour is established, it is well known in the market. It's been around for a few years now in terms of the buzz and the hype around it, and the amount of agents I've seen mention it as the new Dubai downtown is unbelievable. So you're not getting in at stage one here. However, what I would say is now you can see proof of concept. And by that, what I mean is, as I mentioned, I was down there last week. If you go down there, you will see the potential of this community, okay? And if you're not there, I'll go down there for you and take some videos for you. But you can see the water when you go onto the island. You can see the views towards downtown. You can see the buildings, you can see how it's laid out. You can see as you drive around the island, the boulevard, you've got the trees hanging down. You've got tenants there, you've got restaurants popping up left, right and centre. Big chains as well. and you're really starting to see that community emerge. And in the future, give it, I think it's a longer play. I think 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you're really going to see the potential. But this is going to be a community, because of the scale of it, that's going to go on for years and years to come. So really something special here. Now, what I'm going to speak through now is a couple of apartment towers that we have units available in and that we can access today. Okay, I'll speak to you at the end about the difficulties of purchasing with Emaar due to demand. However, rest assured, for this tower in particular, we have units available from 1.7 million dirhams. Okay, so they've said it here, just as a quick overview of Dubai Creek Harbour. It's an ultra-modern, stylish, pedestrian-friendly neighbourhood. Again, they're thinking about the end-user experience, right? They want to make it walkable. Think of downtown think of the boulevard in downtown. Think of the marina for the waterfront space. And they've said, it's situated next to the historic Dubai Creek. It's going to have 7.4 square metres of resi space, 500,000 square metres of parks and open spaces with retail, business, recreation, community facilities, all within walking distance. So this gives you an idea of what to expect. That's a real life image. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. And as I said, you can really see this start to emerge. If you look along the front, where the water is, beaches, leisure and entertainment, and effectively the waterfront community, that's what you're going to see start to emerge. And they've got the Address Hotel there as well, both the hotel and the residential apartments, which I was also in the other day. And anyone knows the Address brand, it is tier 1. That's a JBR Address Hotel, multiple Address downtown hotels, and then of course the new Emaar beachfront Address Hotel that's going to be there as well. So Creek Island is is the island within Dubai Creek Harbour. So this is kind of going to be your waterfront marina location. So if you want waterfront living, this is the place to go. So you're going to have 5-star hotels. You're going to have yacht club, obviously stunning views towards downtown Dubai. So as you actually look at this picture, imagine you're taking the photo. That's behind you would be where downtown is. So you can literally see the Burj Khalifa and the downtown skyline. Okay, so Creek Waters 2 is one of the towers within that community. Okay, so we're talking about waterfront living here. So this is really useful because this gives you an idea of the island itself. So you've got the boulevard here, which is self-explanatory, but it's effectively a ring road / pedestrianised area where you can walk around. You'll have the buildings you can see to the left and right of you, but then you'll have all the coffee shops, restaurants, some office space, shops, etc. Circling this centerpiece. So you've got the center park there as well. You've got the promenade, which is circling around, which obviously just means you can effectively walk along the front. And then you've got the marina area to the left, and then you've got the harbour viewing point there, and then the Address hotels are here as well. And then this is where Creek Waters 2 is located. So Creek Waters is made up of two towers, and Creek Waters 2. We have availability in actually both towers now, but they're very comparable in terms of the pricing and the investment that's offered. And there's a quick note here on the left with regards to the transport available. So they're looking at 4 metro stations in Dubai Creek Harbour. Okay, so here are the towers here. So as you can see, it's a striking tower right on the waterfront. So you're going to tenants, or if you're living there yourself, you're going to step out and you are on the waterfront, which is obviously very appealing. Typical Emaar standard. So you can see even by the feel, the photographs, the colour schemes that are used, the cutting edge design, the balcony space, you can tell this is an Emaar product just by looking at it. So yeah, rest assured, in terms of product finish, it's going to be some of the best in the market. They're talking about the design here, which you can go into a bit more detail of. But this is an example of where a master community would be beneficial, because what you're seeing here is behind, up to the top, you can see the buildings itself. Whereas if this was another developer, the design would be different. It would look different. It wouldn't have the direct gateways to the podium. It would be a completely shut off separate plot. Whereas because it's a master community and it's one developer doing all of this, it just makes sure it's connected nice and smoothly with minimal interruption or minimal separation for the tenants and the guys that are actually living in the building. This is an idea of a pool, or an apartment with a pool or a terrace looking towards downtown and the waterfront, and an idea of the finishes and what to expect. As you can see, absolutely stunning. And I'd encourage you to look at how EMAAR deliver against their images as well. A lot of developers are very good at getting companies to create computer-generated images, and by making it look stunning. But obviously, you want the end product to look like the photos. So yeah, it's really important that you compare what the developer's done in the past in comparison to how their images looked. Cool. And obviously this gives you an idea of the internals. Now, I'm not going to go fully through the brochure now, but what I did want to speak about just quickly is the EMAAR demand and the booking process and what you can expect. So to give you an idea, what happens with EMAAR is they have a huge land bank of properties and developments that are coming to market in pretty much all of these communities that I mentioned earlier across Dubai. Now, EMAAR, as I said, I can't stress this enough, is the #1 in-demand developer in Dubai. When they build stuff, they deliver on what they're going to say. They deliver a good quality product. They have exceptional service. They treat everyone, professionally. You go to one of their sales centers, you'll be absolutely blown away. But also the back-end support, how they liaise with investors, how slick their operations are, their handover process, property and block management. It's all very streamlined and very professional. Okay? Due to all these reasons, what you find is that there's huge demand for the properties, and as a result of that, this reflects in the price and the performance of their properties. Okay, it's kind of hand in hand. Now, when you buy with EMAAR, it's a very safe bet that property, that asset, is going to appreciate during the construction period. Okay, we regularly see prices shoot up. Okay. A lot of EMAAR staff in-house buy their stock because they know it's going to rise. A lot of the big agency owners buy EMAAR stock directly. All the funds, all the signature clients of EMAARs are people that buy up floors. They don't try not to sell buildings as a whole, but the demand, long and short of it, is very, very high. Now, what they'll do, EMAAR, is when they say, right, we've got a new launch coming, firstly, nearly every agent in Dubai knows about it. Okay, there's probably 8, 9, 10,000 individual agents operating in Dubai. Now, a lot of those will be registered with EMAAR, or their companies will be registered with EMAAR, and they will be actively selling EMAAR properties. Okay, so the level of competition is exceptionally fierce. So EMAAR will do an announcement. You might hear rumours of it. You might hear people that get, a few bigger companies get first access, but effectively EMAAR will normally do an announcement. They'll email out their network, and all their account managers will be told, and they will contact the individual agencies, and then they basically say within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we'll know there's an EMAAR launch coming. So there might be a new tower at Dubai Hills. There might be a new address building being launched at EMAAR Beachfront. There might be a new phase of villas coming in Arabian Ranches. So basically word gets out. What happens then is when that date and time comes around, firstly, all the agencies will be teeing up and advising their clients and investor clients that the new building is coming. What will happen then is an EMAAR will then release that to people that are buying full floors or half floors. Okay, their signature clients that have bought with them time and time again. So they'll go through and they'll buy out, a lot of stock. Obviously, they'll need to have checks, deposits, 10% ready to go. And then normally it's for people that are in Dubai that can deliver the physical check to EMAAR, whether that's through the agent or through the investor directly. And basically a lot of the stock is sold at that stage. After that, it will then go to the top 20 agents who work for EMAAR, so the best performing agents that have repeat business and repeat investors. Again, that will go out, and then finally it will go out to the open market effectively. So what you'll find is prior to it even getting to the open market, a lot of the stock is sold. Now, it doesn't mean that the whole buildings are always sold. That's not the case. There is always good quality opportunities that come along. However, you have to be sharp. So when we tell investors, look, there's an EMAAR launch coming, you've got to get ready, this is where it's coming, that's the stage you want to do your due diligence and research. And by the time we get to you and say, look, bang, it's live, 2 p.m. today, it's coming, be ready. We'll often take checks from people in advance, but effectively that's how quick you've got to be. Now, to give you an idea and to put this in perspective, for example, if you look at Emaar Beachfront, when they launch a tower there, you will see full building inventory, so full building stock, sell in 3 to 4 minutes. 3 to 4 minutes it can go. Okay, so what happens is they've sold a lot of floors in advance, gone out to the big agents, they've taken another few half floors or batches of 5-10 units. It's gone on the app. Every agent in Dubai, not every agent, but a lot of the agents in Dubai are waiting on this stock to come. And then, bang, 2 o'clock, it's released on the app. Every agent is trying to book for their clients on the app. And then you keep having to refresh it to pick your unit, to press book, to put in the investor details. And bang, before you know it, 2:05, it's gone. Okay? So we have a good account manager at Emaar, okay, which is very, very important. So it's crucial that we know in advance that one, a launch is coming, and two, we've got the investors' down payment, because we can tell you roughly what to expect. The prices, we can try and aim for a type of unit. We obviously know the community itself. So all the preparation, research and due diligence we can do in advance. So by the time the actual launch comes, we should be ready to pull the trigger and say yes. Okay. But I want to let people know that, because that's typically what happens. And then people think they can sit around and take 2 weeks to look at it. No, you're going to miss the best opportunities. If you want to get that high capital growth, and we're talking, 15 to sometimes 30% over a year, believe it or not, in some communities, then that's how quick you've got to be. You've got to be organised. You've got to be on the ball. So hopefully that helps. As I say, I'm here to guide you through that process. Now, I just wanted to give a quick overview today of Emaar, their communities, and just mentioned Dubai Creek Harbour and the Creek Waters Tower. So get in touch with me if you want any information. Contact details should be below on wherever you're watching this. But we can secure your units now in Creek Waters 2 and the original tower. 1 beds from 1.7, waterfront units in one of the most popular emerging communities of Dubai. Still room for phenomenal growth, but we've got proof of concept there. Construction's well underway. Big retails, big hotel brands going into there, which is a great sign. And that close proximity and amazing view of downtown Dubai. So reach out to me, guys. Any advice in general on the Dubai market, new build, off plan, or the secondary market or lettings, we can help, and I'll be happy to guide you through from there. As a final reminder, I'm Nick. I'm the CEO of Masar Capital, qualified broker, regulated agency, so well equipped to help. And we've got some of really strong account managers who work direct with the developers, who can guide you from start to finish as well. Thanks for your time, guys. I'll speak to you soon.